let's go take a look at what we got so far. See if any of it is like... Can I place a pinwheel outside? Is that a thing I can do? No? Okay. Can I hold a pinwheel? I absolutely can. Okay, that's fun. And it blows when I move. Nice attention to detail. Hello? Admiral. So if I place this... Sorry. Oh, I could have opened the... No, I couldn't have. Wait, why couldn't I? Oh, it's because I took the shovel out of my inventory. Okay. What does this look like? It looks like nothing if I just drop it. It's just a holdable item, I guess. Okay, well, that's not too terribly exciting. Could be more interesting, you know. I'm not too impressed. I'm gonna put this on this table here. As for everything else, we can go check and see if they're interesting at all. I say, honestly, maybe this is the day we go and switch out our... Oh my god, look at that. That's gorgeous. Wow, that's actually beautiful. I actually am kind of tempted to keep that. Let's see this. I mean, that's very pretty too, and I feel like that works with the wallpaper a little bit better. But, like, is that what we care about? I mean, this is just cool. I like this. I think I'm going to keep the fancy carpet. And I think I'm going to open this last grab bag. Never mind. Why is there no open option? I can't open it inside? Are you kidding me? It's dumb. Alright. Green rug, shanty mat, and a green pinwheel. Well, the shanty mat I already know is really bad. I mean, see, it'd be nice if I were making, like, some sort of horror-themed thing. Just put a bunch of, like, hanging corpses around or something. Would fit the theme of a shanty mat, but... I don't know. Green rug we've had before. I'm not too impressed. We already looked at the plush carpet. The kitschy tile we already looked at. What else did we get? Oh, we got the green pinwheel. I mean, that's just gonna be, you know, it's just gonna be a green pinwheel, you know? What do you expect? But I'm gonna put the fancy carpet back out, because I like the fancy carpet. And then I'm gonna put... Let's place these two items. Let's see what they are. One's a really fancy bonsai tree, which is very pretty, but... Don't think I'm gonna keep that necessarily. And then another is a fan. Which is very cool, but... Also not... too interesting, you know? Okay. And then I say we just kind of get rid of the rest. You know, I can double check if it's unique or anything. I don't really know if I care, honestly. At this point, I've got a lot of unique stuff that I'm probably gonna consider just throwing out anyways. And we'll go grab some more grab bags, shall we? That's weird. He, like, reorganized the grab bags for some reason. Why did he do that? Why did you do that? Okay, looks like none of the stuff we got is unique. But I am holding on to the backgammon stuff, so I need to keep that. The chessboard rug. Those two are unique, as a matter of fact. But everything else we can sell. All right, we got two. Let's see what they are. We got another pinwheel. Pink pinwheel, we've gotten that one before. Green rug, we've gotten that before. Blue golf bag, that's new. Hang on to that, sell the other two. Okay. Lovely table, mod top, Ponderosa bonsai again. Okay. The mod top looks like that. I've had that before. So we can change... Let's get rid of those two. I believe I've had a lovely table before, but I'll keep it. I'll show you guys. I know I don't show furniture very often, so I'll show you guys what that looks like. But we'll sell these other two. It's probably a good time to, like, just stock up on any furniture, carpets, anything I've never... If I were going for 100% and all of that, which I'm only kind of loosely doing. Not really going to actively try, but I give it a little bit of a try, because it does benefit me to just buy stuff every now and again. Okay, those two we have had. We already looked at the kitschy tile and the shanty mat, so we can get rid of those. I'll keep the cabin bed, or whatever it was. And, okay, let's buy another. Yes, sir, can I have another? Thank you, sir. Let's open that up. Another pinwheel. This one pink as well. A number 67 shirt. That's fun. Number 67. And a Pachira. I'm not actually sure what that is. So we'll find out. Buy another grab bag. And this is probably going to be our last one for now. We've got an ornate wall, a plaza tile, and a noble shirt. Okay. Alright, let's go take a look at... Well, let me sell this shirt that I don't want anymore. Let's check out our bounties. What do we got? Alright. I mean, first things, let me go put this extra, furniture and carpet and whatever down here. Just so I don't have to carry them around. Some of this other stuff, those are both unique. I guess those are probably all unique. I don't know. I don't really want to double check. Okay. So, first thing, lovely table. Very uninteresting. It's just a table. It's part of the lovely collection. It's like heart themed. That's really it. I'm not crazy about it, personally. The ornate wall is, it's not bad. It looks kind of like cheap wallpaper, in my opinion. So I guess it is bad, but, it's like an old, not like a nice house, but like an old house from, like, I don't know, like the 80s that still had that glued on wallpaper, that's what that reminds me of. I don't think anybody, like, uses wallpaper anymore, do they? I rarely see wallpaper. Most people just paint their walls. Kind of rare that you get wallpaper. I guess it's just because it looks kind of cheap. I'd prefer the manor wall over that, for sure. Let's look at the plaza tile. Plaza tile is okay. You know what it reminds me of, though, is kind of the museum. I don't know if this is the exact same wall rug on the museum, but that's what it reminds me of. So, I don't know if the theming... I mean, the theming kind of works for the just having a bunch of, like, random statues and stuff around. It kind of does fit, but... Also, I just really love this, like, elaborate carpet. It's way too much. And I love that about it. It's just too much, It's excessive. It just, like, it hurts to look at. There's too much color. There's too much detail. It's distracting. It's horrible. It's awful. I love it. Cabin couch. I have had this before. It's just a couch. It matches sort of a more outdoorsy, like, cabin theme. It's alright. I don't want it, but it is what it is. Blue golf bag, I mean, what do you expect, It's a blue golf bag. Now, Pachira, usually when I see a name like this, I assume it's some sort of plant. So, let's see. And sure enough, it's a plant. Like, if it's a word that I've never seen before in my life, then it's probably a plant. That's just, those are the rules of Animal Crossing. I'm gonna go sell the rest of this, pick up some more goodie bags. What fun. Oh, man, I've been trying to read more. I guess that's the end of the sentence. I've been trying to read more books. And, so I've been trying to, like, you know, hold myself to reading. In between, like, I'll play. It's kind of dumb, but okay. So my rule is I'll play a game if it's like a new game, and then once I finish that game, I have to read a book before I can play another game. It's just sort of a weird self-imposed rule I have, but it's just so I stop playing. You know, I finish a game and then I start just playing a new game. I don't leave myself that time to just like not do anything, find other things to do. So I'm like, you know. Maybe if I force myself to read a book in between. It's actually been working pretty well. Because then in order to read the book, I have to, I don't know, I can't really read a book all in one setting. So it's like, I gotta find time to, like, read the book. I gotta find a place to go sit. You know? It's a whole thing. It's quite fun. We can open both of these. So, wait. So we got a monitor screen, a library wall, and a sprinkler. And we got another pinwheel. This one's red, okay. A kitty carpet and a regal dresser, okay. Those are all new so far. We got another thing. Fishbone shirt. That's fun. And a bear pole, which we have had before. And a fancy pinwheel. Okay, what is that? Look at that thing. Well, that's fun. Look at that. Anyways, I started reading Atlas Shrugged. I've been meaning to read it for so long. Because, like, I read The Fountainhead in college. And I found it quite interesting. Even if I don't, like, fully agree with everything about it, I find it's an interesting book. There's some interesting ideas. There's a lot of, maybe anti-capitalist sentiment in there, but... which, you know, some people are for, some people are against. I don't care. I'm not a very political person. I don't often give a shit, you know. But it's fun to read different perspectives and all sorts of things. I quite liked the book. I thought it was quite good. Although, you know, part of it is that a lot of the characters are just kind of assholes, you know. They're just not... They're kind of selfish and shitty, and they stand in their own way too much. Anyways, I don't know if I should... I'm debating if I should now get into a whole thing talking about The Fountainhead. I'm not talking about Atlas Shrugged. I'm talking about The Fountainhead, by the way. I've only read like a chapter of Atlas Shrugged so far. I don't even really know what it's about. So I'm gonna find out. But... you know, sometimes you say you read Ayn Rand and you get these, like, books. God damn. I completely fucked up that sentence. Sometimes you tell people you read Ayn Rand and you get these weird looks, you know? And they're like, oh, you're one of those guys, huh? You think you're so smart. Here's the kitty carpet. It's like puzzle pieces. I don't know if you remember. I mean, when I was a kid, do you remember floors like this where you used to go to a place and they'd have these little, like, foam puzzle pieces that would just, like, make up the floor? Usually did them at, like, gymnastics places, any place where kids were, like, running around, rolling around. You know, where you had to have padding instead of hard ground. You'd have these little puzzle pieces. Mats. They're kind of fun. They're not really good theming for a house, though, so I don't know really why I would have that. Let's look at the sprinkler. I've already had a sprinkler in my house before, so if you don't remember the sprinkler, here it is. It's just gonna get water everywhere, so we don't want to have that out. Here's the regal dresser. Not too exciting, you know, you can open it up. I've seen that before. I don't know if you guys have seen that before, but I certainly have. The bear pole we've seen before as well. It's one of these totems. I think that's all we picked up. No, there's one more. No, never mind. That's all. Yeah, that's everything. So let's go sell all this and pick up the... I think there's like 2 grab bags left. Yeah, but I don't know. I liked it. It does have like a... It's got like a speech at the... It's basically... Gosh. See, the problem with me going into detail about this is I'm not gonna have enough time to, like, fully, like, invest in, like, explaining the plot of this book. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to, like, cut myself off after, like, talking for a couple seconds. It's basically about a guy who's, like, he goes to college, and they are like, hey, he goes to college for architecture, right? And there's this other guy who's, like, his adoptive brother, I believe, who goes to college with him, right? They both go to college, and his brother, this guy's name is Howard Rourke. But his brother, his name is, like, Peter, I think, or something. They both go to the same college for the same thing. They both go for architecture. And, okay, kitty wall, old brick wall, and a spade shirt. That's the last grab bag. But Howard gets kicked out of college because he doesn't like that they, like, forced him to learn. I guess we'll look at them, I guess. He makes a big stink about, I accidentally hit exit. They make him do Roman columns. They're like, here, build a house and do Roman columns and do all of this. And he's like, I don't want to do Roman columns. He's like, I want to build my own house. He's like a creative mind. He doesn't like that they ask him to do stuff based on ancient, like, architecture. He's like, that makes no sense. Why aren't we just, why can't we just build new things? Why do people always want these old structures? And they're like, just fucking do it so I can give you a good grade. And he's like, no. And so he quits college, basically leaves, and there's the kitty wall, and here's the old brick wall. It's all terrible, but there you go. See, I'm not gonna have enough time. So he leaves college, whereas Peter excels in college. But the main distinction between these two characters is that Howard is actually rather good at architecture. He's kind of a genius. He's kind of smart. He's good at it, but he doesn't like people telling him what to do. He doesn't deal well with authority. He kind of is a creative mind. He wants to be sort of left to work on his talent. Whereas Peter is a bit of a kiss-ass. He does everything that he's told, and when they get into the workforce, it's like Howard tries a little bit, but ultimately kind of gets kicked out of the architecture field, mostly because he's completely unwilling to do what people ask him to do. He complains, and he stomps his feet, and he says, hey, I don't care, like, I'm the architect, not you. You can't tell me how to build your building. Like, you're asking me to build you a building, and then you're telling me how to build it. And he's like, that's annoying. You're pissing me off, Like, leave me alone, let me build it how I want. And then he'll go so far as to, like, kind of just undermine what they want and just build the building how he wants to build it. And then he ends up getting into trouble, and he kind of gets, kicked out of the profession. Whereas Peter is really bad at architecture. He's not, like, a very creative or interesting person. He's just about as good as anybody else, I suppose. But he's not, like, exceptional. In fact, he might even be a little bit worse than most. But what he's really good at is just kissing ass and making friends with people, right? So that's what he does, is he goes to parties and he sort of worms his way into social circles in order to get top positions in, like, the architectural field, right? So that's what he does, and it works for him. But he doesn't really leave, like, lasting impression on people, and he also isn't ultimately kind of by the end of well, I don't want to spoil it, but I don't know. I don't know if anybody cares. But ultimately, the point of the novel is that Howard Rourke is this, like, brilliant creative mind, and he just kind of wants to be, and, like, people ask him for his talent, right? There's, like, a very famous speech a rant that he goes on at the end of the novel, where he's in court because he gets sued for building something that like the people didn't really want, and then it got so far into construction that I actually, there might have been something else to that. I don't actually remember. It's been a long time, but maybe they were just like, oh, by the end of it they thought it was ugly, and so they sued him. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, he makes this big speech about the second-handers and that they like expect something. Like there's people with talents, and then there's people that want something from those people with talent, and then they just like demand from those people, even though they don't know anything. They're just like, they're not experts, and yet they're demanding expertise, yet they're also telling the expert like what they want, even though they're not the experts. That's basically the point of the novel. I mean, it's it's just kind of like it's about capitalism and how it kind of squanders this, this talented dude, even though a lot of Howard Rourke's problems are kind of his own. They're self-imposed. He's stubborn and arrogant, and he wants to do things his way, and he's unwilling to like compromise and be like, yeah, I'll do a Roman column, but let me do this thing my way. I'll do this your way. He does it a little bit, but like he very much likes to sort of grandstand to make points, and then he's so willing to do this that he literally stops, like he loses his job and starts working in construction for a long period of time until somebody's like, that guy was talented, let's bring him back. So if that hadn't happened, he would have just been completely wasted and squandered, which is part of the point of the novel, I suppose, is that, guys like this, they don't have a place in this world, even though they're the best of the best, it's part of the point. And then I think one of the better points that the novel had to make was just the character of Peter. I don't even remember if that's his name. I'm gonna call him Peter though, which is Howard's brother. They're not actually related. I believe they're adoptive brothers. Like Howard was adopted. But it's partially about how he's just kind of like is able to move up this social ladder in a corporate space, not because he's good at his job, but because he's good at talking, and he's good at just making connections and talking to people and building his social circle to the point where he just, worms his way into positions where people are like, oh, well, if a position's like opening up, he'll be like, oh, well, hey, maybe I have some expertise on this. He's just good at selling himself. He's good at talking, but he's not actually good at his job. And I thought that's a really decent point at the very least. I feel like is kind of, I've seen plenty of that happening where it's you got a lot of people that are not specifically good at their job, like especially in my field. I've seen that people that like suck. Like I'm a coder. I know a lot of people that suck at coding. I've known people that were just absolutely awful. Had no idea what they were doing, but they were good at like convincing people that they knew what they were doing. They just had to like pretend, and then they got positions and they got job opportunities. This is what people say. I mean, if you've ever heard people say like, oh, just if you're like interviewing for a job, just lie. Just lie and pretend like you're an expert. Like even if you're not, never let them know that you're unsure. Just be confident and just tell them like, oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and just convince them that you do, even if you don't. And there's a lot of that happens in capitalism and corporations. It's just it is a thing. It is often less about talent and more about just you selling yourself, which I do think is kind of stupid. But I also don't really know that there's a really elegant solution to it. I don't know. It was an interesting book. I enjoyed reading it, and it left me thinking. I was thinking a lot of stuff. The whole second-hander thing it's an intriguing thought. I don't know if it fully holds up because obviously, when you're talking about architecture, you're talking about buildings. It's like, don't the people asking for the building, I think they would have a little bit of a right to be like, well, this is what we want in the building. You know, I like understand why they should have some sort of say in it. Now I do understand like the argument for, you know, should they be completely like telling this person what to do? Yeah, no, probably not. Obviously they're not the experts. But ultimately at the end of the day, I don't know. It's something they're paying for. It's a service they're paying for, and I don't know. It's kind of I don't know if it fully holds up. You know, it's just like he wants to be perceived very much as an artist, but in reality he's not like making paintings. You know, where it's like you can put whatever you want into the painting, but when you're making a building, it's like there has to be purpose there, and there's people. You know, especially if it's a house, you know, that people want to live in, or it's supposed to represent a business, you know. But you know, there's other points to be made, like, well, you know, you can't design interesting buildings anymore because nobody wants them. You know, people just want, you know, these boring ass like tall square skyscrapers, and like as a, you know, I can design amazing buildings, but nobody will let me do that. I don't know. There's interesting stuff to talk about there. You know, I have a friend who really hates Ayn Rand for some reason. I've never understood it because he's never read the books. So it's just like, why would you hate something if you have if you've never like experienced it? But it's an interesting read. So yeah, I'm reading Atlas Shrugged now. Anyways, I'm kind of just not doing anything in this game. See, this was why I was worried about starting to talk about this, because I'm like, I have nothing to do after I buy all these goodie bags. I do have to wait until 6 o'clock for Red to show up, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that, I suppose. I'll see you guys in like 24 minutes.